everybody, movie review time, where we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Jojo Rabbit.
Yay. Little bunny Jojo running through the forest.
This is good before you do something. This is going to be our spoiler-filled review. We're going to talk all kinds of spoilers about this movie. We might even start with the ends. You never know, so be careful if you don't want spoilers. But we got a few things to say while you try to click out in case you need to set down that beer, set down that baby, and make sure that they have a good time together while you're watching the other things.
This is why we don't have children.
Exactly, because I don't want to share my beer. Oh, I totally forgot, by the way, I was tempted, and we didn't go in the house, but since we don't usually shoot these in my place, but I was thinking about going and getting a glass of wine, sit here with a glass of wine in the car. But anyways, so let's do all the spiel before we'll give you the final spoiler warning in just a moment. But again, we don't consider ourselves movie reviewers. We're just more people that love movies, so we're just kind of geeking out about movies we like. That's the way we approach these things. If you do want more of our general thoughts, I still recommend seeing the no spoiler video, even if you've seen the movie, because it's a little bit more cohesive in terms of what we actually thought about the movie. Plus, I get an epic rant about how I love theater goers. And what else do I normally say? Your face caught it all. You can also get movie reviews usually right out of the theater from us, like 30-second little what we thought about things, and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you check out the Stardust app, you can also get all kinds of other crazy movie reviews, new, old, everything in between, Let's Plays, fan commentaries. Like today I put out my episode 2 Star Wars fan commentary by checking out my Patreon. Both of those can be found by looking up TheEricButts or using the links in the description below. So, I think that was the whole spiel.
Yeah,
so you had plenty of time to click on out of the video, but here's your final warning. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Indiana Jones shows up and starts punching children? That was so cool. Alright.
I was going to go with... So it turns out Hitler is actually an alien parasite in the boy's brain.
Okay, that would have been good too, but the Indiana Jones thing just popped in my head right before I said it. I was like, oh yeah, because Indiana Jones punches Nazis. I love it. Also, just a statement, we don't get political on this channel, but I don't think this is political. It goes beyond political. Fuck Nazis. There you go. I like humans. Nazis aren't humans. Fuck them. All right. That being said, and I like to put that out there because we might actually talk about wasn't Hitler so cool when, and of course we're referring to the movie, but I just want to make it clear.
Funny.
Yeah, I know, but I was just giving them an example because there are some Nazis in here that are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell and Alfie Allen are fucking cool.
So to address your point, because I'm kind of curious.
All right.
So Sam Rockwell's character, Captain K, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
So, he helps him, he kind of helps him cover for the Jewish girl. He helps him, not get slaughtered with the rest of the Nazis at the end.
Yeah.
Did he really deserve to die?
No, because no. Well, again, I believe in redemption. People can change and be redeemed. So, I'm willing to give people a chance. And I do feel like he made it clear from the early on parts that he realized the ridiculousness he had gotten caught up in, and he was just playing nice so he didn't get murdered, for things. And then you do bring up the point that he covered for the girl. I think they left that a little bit vague. Now, clearly, he may have actually covered for the girl and JoJo, but he might have also actually just covered for JoJo in that moment. Well, no, now that I think about it, that wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked. He definitely covered for them, because if he did turn in the girl, JoJo clearly would have known it wasn't his sister, so.
I think it wasn't exactly happenstance that he ended up at JoJo's house, because think of what he was probably there to do. His mother, she had been hung by that point.
Well, okay, but I mean, no dead air.
Okay, sorry. So the thing is, he knows that his mother
Sam
just
Rockwell
died.
knows.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain K knows this.
Spoiler. I mean, I would have built up to that, but okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Well, this is a spoiler video, but
and then he was probably going to JoJo's house to tell him.
You think it was to tell him? Okay.
And then he just happened to show up when the gazpacho.
This gazpacho. That's beautiful. These Nazis sure are delicious. I'll take some of that. Would you call that? Would you call that soup, or would you call that soup? Because SS soup.
Oh, God.
I love it.
Gestapo.
Yes. Okay, but yeah. Do you remember your point? Or did it
I think the Gestapo just happened to be at the house when Captain K showed up.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So, but
and so he's going like, oh crap, the kid just lost his mom. Now this shit. Yeah, it's the sister. Yeah, it's all good, guys.
Yeah, that was really intense too. Yeah. And as soon as they showed the picture of the sister too, because they showed it like shortly before, I was like, oh man, she looks a lot like the sister. And then I was like, oh, she's gonna pretend to be the sister.
They're all German.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, well, since we talked about the mom dying, I'll bring this up, and I'll also point out one of the things I couldn't rant about in spoilers. Don't worry, I'm not gonna rant too hard here, but that was an emotional, fucked up moment. And again, like we were just in something kind of joyous and comedic, and like he just bumps into the shoes, and you realize they've been shutting up the shoes the whole time. And immediately, 98% of us in the audience were just kind of gasped in horror because the movie went silent. It's like, except for the dude behind us who said, "Is that his mom?" It's like, weren't you not watching the movie? Pay attention. And then don't ask shit out loud in an important, crucial, emotional moment of silence. You lean into your person's ear and go, is that the mom? At worst, that's what you do. You don't go, is that the mom? Dick. All right. Anyways, I need to teach a class, a mandatory class. You will say, Heil Eric. Because, oh God.
No.
I know. I was trying to find a way to not make the joke so horrible, but it's like, because I'm a theater Nazi, I guess. It's like, sit there, shut up, and watch the damn movie. I mean, again, in case you haven't seen my other rants. Yeah. No soup for you. And in case you didn't see my other rants about this stuff, I don't care if like you laugh, you cry, you giggle, or even have a oh shit or oh my god or something like that on occasion. If you're reacting to the movie, I'm not mad about that. It's just when you're doing other dumb shit like that or clearing your throat every 30 seconds.
My dad actually doesn't go to the movies anymore because he's got COPD and he doesn't want to bother us.
And you know what? It's kind of sad, but I respect that. But then again, also he could go like towards, if he really wants to see something, you could pick a matinee or go, later in a cycle when it's not opening night. You know what I'm saying? But I do respect that. That's a whole other thing. But anyways, all right. So yeah, but that was pretty heartbreaking with the mom, and I love that reveal that it was her shoes, and that realization that they had been setting up her shoes the whole time, and then even just that heartbreak of he goes to tie her shoes because he hasn't learned how to tie his, and he still can't do it, and he just breaks down and hugs on her legs and all that. And he's just sitting there for a while. That was rough. That was rough. And I did notice, and I'm not sure why, but everybody who was hung with her had their hands tied behind her back, but hers were not. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if there was some subtext going on there, but
didn't notice that.
Yeah, I just happened to catch it. I don't know if there was a reasoning for that or something, or maybe Sam Rockwell, Captain K, maybe he actually had to do the deed, and he tried to show her a little kindness by not treating her like a prisoner or something. I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There is some cool stuff to kind of think about and deep dive into this movie as well. But yeah, that was pretty sad. But again, I just love those tonal shifts, and then it kind of goes back into something comedic slightly after that. But then he goes home and he tries to stab the girl. Yeah. And that is just, that whole sequence was rough, man. Yeah. But then Taika Waititi shows back up as Hitler eating a unicorn head of lunch meats. That was pretty awesome. While Jojo is starving, eating scraps out of the garbage. But what else? Let's get on to a happier topic about the opening. Let's do the opening. We probably should have started with the opening. Yeah. I really appreciate how he took old propaganda, Nazi footage, and Hitler footage, and used the German version of the Beatles' "I Want to Hold Your Hand." And kind of made it like Beatlemania with the Hitler Youth. Yeah. I thought that's cool.
It's clever.
It is very clever and a unique take on things, and a real kind of interesting way to kind of again share that fever pitch of how
fanaticism.
Yeah, but how impressionable youth can be, particularly at that age, and how they may not see all the negative things about stuff. Yeah,
I was never that kid, so. Yeah, no,
I understand. But I thought
I always watched the footage of people at the Beatles concerts losing their freaking minds. I'm like, I don't get it.
Oh, you mean like that? No, I totally get that, obviously.
I still don't understand it.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, so.
Okay, I just thought maybe you'd freak out a little bit, but You have video of me freaking out like that at Green Day. So
yeah. It'd be interesting to see what would happen if I ever actually encountered her. It'd be like, oh, hi, yeah, I really like your stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you don't get super. Actually, I don't get too super fanned out. Anyways, it's honestly I don't geek out that much with the people. I try to be respectful, but except when I met George Romero. We're okay. Derailer.
Okay. Anyways, opening.
Fanaticism.
Impressionableness.
The greatness of Hitler hyping up Jojo in the beginning. Like, that's not a say it. Just throw it away. No, it sounds like you're trying to say hi Hitler, and then just him running through. Hi Hitler. Hi Hitler. Hi Hitler. And even with the gazpacho joke, never gonna let that one go. That they were doing that old kind of doctor joke with the Heil Hitlers, where everybody had to say it to everybody every time. That was pretty great.
Oh god, it was so rough when the God, what was her name? The girl,
the young girl. Yeah. If you're asking character names, I don't know.
Yeah, God, when the young girl is posing as Jojo's sister and she's having the.
Yeah,
I hate myself so much.
Yeah, you can see her like trying to swallow those words, like crazy. What do I gotta do to survive?
And, oh god, and I have to do this, motherfucker.
But I love the running gag too with the knives, and then later the mom's like, "Where have all my knives gone?" So she keeps stealing the knives, and then he shows up with a spoon, and I'm just thinking, "Hop loved eats," you know. But I thought all that was great, and the way she was tormenting him, you know, the girl was tormenting him initially, like trying to terrify him, and even like the creepy way she moves her hand on the railing.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah, which of course I would have loved more. Again, had the people not on your side been like, "Oh, it's funny because she's trying to be scary." Yeah, we're watching the movie. Shut up. We know. Anyway. But yeah, that stuff was fantastic too, the way it creeps around the door frame and all that. So that was really fun. Set design, all that stuff. I mean, I'm not even talking about the technical side of the film because it was gorgeous. Everything looked great, felt great. I loved the joke I was surprised the Nazi youth camp was as short as it was because I got a feeling, and it's good the trailers didn't show everything, but I had a feeling that was maybe going to be more of it than it was. But there were still some great bits in there that they hadn't shown in the trailer. Yeah. Like Jojo running like, okay, I'm going to show everybody how to throw these bombs and not, blow your balls off or whatever. And then Jojo just comes running, just steals it and throws it. And of course it bounces off a tree. He's like, uh-oh. Boom.
Shit.
Very Looney Tunes initially.
Yeah.
Definitely had that kind of Merry Melodies energy going on.
Just... Hitler realized it's like we're human antelopes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was so cute. And then he like starts sideways doing the finger guns thing as he's jumping along with them. That was so awesome.
And then the bomb lands at Jojo's feet. She's like, "Oh crap, really?"
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, like the Sam Rockwell's like, the little bomb thief, things like that. Rebel Wilson. She's great in this too. There's just the right amount of her because I do like her, but she's one of those people for me that I can, if you put too much of her in something, it's too much for me. But I felt it was the perfect amount of her in here. I thought every time she was in it, it was pretty damn funny. And even that she died in the end was pretty great. Going out with a big machine gun, you just see her run around the corner and. I thought that actually got Jojo's best friend kid too, so I was kind of glad. And then of course later he says, like, "Yeah, you just can't kill me." Or I don't remember exactly what the line was, but that was really cute.
Yeah, I know his name is Yorkie. I remember that.
Okay, all right.
But guy, he's so adorable, and I'm leaning over because he's like a tiny young Nick Frost.
Yeah, which since I'm ranting about everybody else, I guess I'll rant to you. You could have told me that after the movie.
Because I was afraid I was going to.
Fair enough. You get special privilege. Y'all don't. But yeah, and then that also that one beat, which is in one of the trailers too, when he runs up to Yorkie, I said it right? Where he's helped carry the rocket launcher, and it drops and blows up the building, fires the rocket. That was great.
Yeah, he's like, and meets him later on. He's like, "It's made of paper."
Oh yeah, and then like
it's paper-like.
Right, it's like this is hard to run in this thing. You know what else is hard to do?
I think it was. I forgot. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know if that was a thing.
But you know what I'm wondering?
If it's...
Now how we're going to pay these bills. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Whee! Little bunny foo-foo.
Little bunny Jojo running through the forest, stealing all the mortars and blowing his ass up.
Nice. I like the training stuff when they're in like the pool and all that. That was kind of fun, having all the kids like, oh, they're drowning. You better go save them. And that was a good Rebel Wilson moment too. Hypnotizing. We're talking about the Jews have the power to hypnotize, and like that's not true. And she's like, no, it's true. It happened to my uncle. He just one day started drinking and smoking and swearing, like all these things that are like, yeah, it was a hypnotist that did that. So I thought little things like that were really, really fun.
Yeah.
I love the somewhat subtle but not entirely subtle subtext of Captain K and Alfie Allen as clearly gay lovers that can't be gay lovers, which, you know, and then they have the style that shows, you know, I guess they're doing they have a flair for the stylish designs, because that outfit was so great, and the fact they actually did it, and Alfie Allen's like actually carrying the music box behind him and just randomly shooting his gun. Like, did you catch that? Like, he's even just flopping it back here and just shooting up into the sky. That was so cool. And like then Sam Rockwell, he even got like full eyeliner and stuff by that point. Yeah. That was awesome.
I have to say, Nazis were complete bastards, but they were the best dressed army in World War II. Their
design sense, thanks to was it Karl Lagerfeld? No, maybe. I forget who it is, but it's like a really famous
Boss.
Hugo Boss.
I think.
Yeah, like a famous designer. Like, and it was part of their strategy. It's probably the only good part of their strategy, if there's anything good, was to look intimidating through the design of their clothing. And it is a very stylish design. You'll see elements of that still today. Obviously, Star Wars riffs on that with the Imperial uniforms and stuff. So I mean, I can't deny that there was a sense of style there. But other than that, complete garbage. But I do love they show that even have like the women, the children, and everything else fighting at the end, and you see some of them dead, you know, like they show you that. They don't hide away from it. I love the joke about German shepherds.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I meant dogs, not actual German shepherds. And it's like all the old dudes that are shepherds. But then you see them fighting in the war at the end. That was pretty great little callback on that, too.
Who was that? God, I'm going to say it again. just I've done screwed myself up with that word.
Oh, the Gestapo. The tall dude.
Yeah, who's the super tall dude?
I recognize him, but I don't recognize his name. I can't think of his name.
He's just like that dude from The Thing.
But then that's another one of those cases of the ladies on your side, for some reason, feeling the need to out loud, very loudly proclaim, "He's so tall!" Yeah, we are watching the movie. We see that.
Yes, we know.
Right? God. But yeah, that was pretty interesting too. And that their whole group, I like the cheeriness of it, you know, like, because they never get portrayed that way, and I'm sure they were never actually that way. It's hard to believe that, but like just how they show them so chipper when they show up at the door. Hi, we're the Gestapo. Mind if we come in?
I think it's there's something. I don't know whether to say if it's a very New Zealand sort of thing, because that's where is from, or in some ways it's just very British.
A little bit of both.
If the Germans were British, they would be like this.
Perhaps, yeah. Of course, all that stuff might not have been happening, but I also do love at the end too that they decided, like, the little kids were talking when the war was just about over, and how it's like, oh, we don't really. They didn't say they don't care about the Jews anymore, but they're like, oh, they're not. It was like the Russians are the problems now. They want to come over and eat all our food and have sex with our dogs.
No, they want to eat our babies and have sex with our dogs.
Eat our babies and have sex with our dogs. That was a great little bit there too.
And George like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, he finally starts to realize the ridiculousnly of all of it. That was pretty great. But God, yeah, Taika as Hitler was so great. Especially after Jojo finds out he had killed himself and just messed up Jojo a little bit, and then he comes back for the final moment in Jojo's mind, and he actually has like the bullet wound in his head and all that stuff. His uniform's in tatters, and then Jojo kicks him in the balls, sending him flying out the window. That was pretty great.
Although I do like the one scene where earlier in the movie where Hitler exits by just throwing himself out the window. Yeah, that was really good too. Yeah, most of the Hitler stuff is in the beginning, and then kind of in the middle it kind of goes away as the boy starts falling in love. I love the that was also, we didn't talk about that, the interpretation of the butterflies in the stomach. That's how he knew he was in love, and it shows the butterflies superimposed. And then when he's out and about, he sees the little blue butterfly and follows that over to the shoes of his mother hanging. It was like, whoa. It's just like, butterfly winner. That's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, but maybe it was the butterfly of his mom, because the blue butterfly, she was always in the blue coat. So I bet you that might have been something he was going for there.
I don't know. You know, she was wearing a green coat at one point. Yeah.
Well, the green coat was when she pretended to be the dad. She put on the soot. Maybe.
No.
I don't know. Well, she was hung with the blue coat.
Yeah.
So.
But I should talk about the mom.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson was great.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, and I think I may have read this in interviews where she's going like, how do you know, when you're in that type of situation and you know what your country is doing is wrong and your kid is being totally swallowed up by this, how do you, first of all, he's only 10 years old, how do you make this less scary, and how do you deal with if you tell him he can't do this, well, guess what, you're putting a giant target on him.
Exactly. That's kind of how I took it too, was like, it's actually safer for him if she lets him just be the fanatic about all of that.
Yeah.
I was like when the gazpacho guy came in and in JoJo's room, was like, this is the kind of little boy's room I like. It's like, phrasing? So that was really cool. Oh, and you boys don't believe the rumor if you heard that Hitler only has one ball. He has 4.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
that
man,
sounds like a completely different medical issue.
And I like the idea too of JoJo writing those fake letters for her fiance that had died, the little girl's fiance.
Except he had no idea that he had died.
Right, yeah. And then the thing in the book where he's drawn all these ways of killing the fiance. That was pretty great too. And the girl is like going like, oh, this got really weird. Yeah, this is getting so weird. Because then later he's like, you love me, right? Like, as a brother. Yeah, as a brother. Yeah. Like, all right, yeah.
I can work with that.
Yeah. But still, I mean, that was pretty cute. Yeah. And I'm honestly kind of glad they didn't go for the cliche of, because I figured that was going to be the moment when she reveals her fiance died and all that she was going to actually kiss him, since they kind of talked about that earlier. And he's like, well, it'd be a pity kiss, and I don't like that. And it's like, can relate. Like, I don't want you doing it if you don't want to do it, as you know. I'm just lucky that most of the time she was.
Anywho. Did her.
Anywho, Jew.
No.
Oh, I'm only making the joke because of all the book titles.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was You Who Jew, or then they were riffing on it, and like, I'm uncomfortable using you. I prefer saying Jewish person, so if you see me feeling a little uncomfortable, I don't really say it that way, but for the purposes of explaining what we've seen. Because they were like, who knew Jew, or things like that. They had a whole bunch of little riffs on that were really funny.
Yeah. And
then like the planning phase where they had all the nuts on the board, and it's like, well, what are the walnuts? Those are just walnuts. Yeah. That was all really cute. Oh yeah, and then when Scarlett Johansson comes in to drop JoJo off at his where he's gonna hang out with Captain K, and she just walks in and like knees him in the balls, and smacks him in the face and all that stuff. It's like, you did this to my son, so you deserve that. It's like, yep, I did. Oh, and then just the whole thing, the whole point of view of JoJo being wheeled, being taken to the hospital and all that. Wasn't that so awesome? And then like,
and just go like that, and then he's like, and then his hands like covered in blood. He's like,
yeah, and it was like, ooh, like all those little faces and stuff, and everybody like looking down on him, freaking out. That was a great montage in the beginning too, I thought. And the use of David Bowie's Heroes at the end was fantastic. As soon as that started coming up, I started getting teary-eyed. And then just that cute little way JoJo and the girl started dancing at the end was just so freaking adorable. Oh, and also, that was also at the time when one of the guys behind us who liked to talk had to say, oh, they're dancing. We know. We're watching the movie. Shut up.
God, but that moment where he goes...
Get on your level. Sorry.
That moment where he goes and
thumbnail, by the way. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. The moment where he goes.
He's escaped from the Americans, and he runs back home, and the girl's like, who won? And he's like, we won? Yeah. Because he doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't want to lose her. He's not ready for things to change. Yeah. And he's too young to know that, just saying, I've lost everybody, I can't lose you right now, He doesn't quite know how to process those concepts. But that was cute when she slaps him, when he comes out and she realizes. Like, yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah. And you're right, I really love the way Sam Rockwell kind of helped him get out of the thing. It's like, your mom was good, you're a good boy, you're a good kid. And then he starts beating him up. It's like, God,
He
get away from me!
Takes off the hat, takes off the coat, and go.
Even has to spit in his face in front of the soldiers, and then kind of smiles at him as he's being drug away to his assumed death. It was pretty clear they were executing all those people. Not trying to say that we were perfect in war, but war is war, and it's not fun. But yeah. But yeah, and again, excellent use of the music all throughout, and it's like all German versions of all the songs, so that was really fun.
And it was kind of interesting where all the signage was in German. No subtitles or anything, so brush up.
Yeah, if you want to read the signs, but I'm like, that's right. I'm here for performances and the story and all that.
I'm sure there's some of it was straight propaganda, but I'm pretty sure some of it is probably funny if you can actually read it.
That's a good point. I'm sure he's hid some things in there somewhere. If you know any of those things, feel free to drop them in the comments. Because this is the spoiler video, so you can tell us.
Yeah.
And then one other thing before we wrap this up for me anyways, is today I got my Star Wars IG-11 Star Wars Black Series figure, which is going to be, it's the IG droid played by Taika Waititi in The Mandalorian. And I got her laughing because it's like, I need to go get a little Nazi armband and a tiny little mustache to put on that action figure and take pictures. But I'm not actually going to do that because I don't really want to even figure out how to go buy a tiny Nazi armband. I'm sure I could like buy a Hitler doll or something, but it was more a funny thought, but I thought I would share that with y'all because it's a funny image to put in your head. This IG Hitler 8. Anyways, the jokes are funnier, but yeah, I think I've pretty much hit everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it really is, it's hard, it's just an experience. You got to go see this movie and experience it. And I might have had more details to talk about in the first 20 minutes if we had gone to, a theater with space and room and not a Friday night crowd. That's all. I think that's also part of it. We went on a Friday night crowd, and it's the Cinemark that's at the mall, so you get like all the mall crowd who went out to all the places and did all the drinking. So I mean, I had 2 glasses of wine, but with an awesome steak and portobello mushroom and over a pumpkin steak sauce, which was like, what? Really good.
You're so basic.
How is that basic? Oh, because pumpkin. I was like, that's the opposite of basic right there. It's like, yeah, okay, if it's pumpkin Kahlua, sure.
I tease.
I know. But you got anything else?
No, I think I'm good to wrap this up and go have myself some gazpacho.
That's right. It's going to be some yummy soup. All right, well, let us know. What did you think about this movie? Have you seen it? How was your audience interaction? All that kind of stuff. What's your favorite part? Geek out with us in the comments. We love to hear what you have to say. Other than that, you can click the thumbs up button. Give us the good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. Check out the Stardust app. Check out the Patreon. Look up TheEricButts. Use the links in the description below. And now we're going to get out of here so we can go have some yummy gazpacho. We'll see you all later.